having to learn everything on my own along the way.
Yeah.
And it's been a very, very, very tough road. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And fortunately, because of my dedication and my hunger for this, I've had people gravitate towards me from everywhere else. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
But I didn't grow up with, like, I've had a few, homies in the hood that rap and stuff like that. But as far as like really, on the industry level, nah, not at all. So it's a, for me, it's a major accomplishment. I'm just happy to still be here to tell the story.
You're damn right you are. That's good, man. I mean, now when it comes to like our distribution, are you going through like a distro kid or some other distribution, or how's that work out for you?
So my deal with Spice One is it's distribution through Sony, through Orchard.
All right.
But this actual album I'm putting out, I'm doing it independently.
Okay.
And I'm going through a TuneCore for that.
Okay, that's cool. So you push it out, you do videos for, and how good are you with the internet marketing as far as like the Twitter stuff, social media, Facebook, Instagram? How good do you do with that? Do you push a little bit or a lot?
I'm pretty tough on social media. I make it a point to hop on there multiple times throughout the day.
Okay.
To repush everything that I'm doing. Especially like with this album, there's not going to be a time where you're not going to see it in my Instagram story. You know what I'm saying? If that shit gets at 18 hours, you're going to see me repost it again in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to see that. Yeah, you ain't got no choice but to see it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know every time I post it too, it puts you at the beginning of the story. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to drop it in there again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm all about that, man. It's just your presence goes a long way. Of course you need your numbers, but your presence really, really, really. I mean, look at Nipsey, you know what I'm saying? That's why he was able to touch so many people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just the numbers, it was his presence.
Yeah, he was everywhere.
Yeah, he was everywhere. So I've kind of got a similar mentality, but as far as like marketing strategies and all that, for this album, I do got some plans behind this. Some really good stuff that should take this album to, greater levels.
Okay. Now, since you said St. Louis, talk to me about St. Louis before you came, because I've been there too, man. It's something totally different than California. It's way different. I pulled over and we was at Jellystone, this Ashford Park, getting some gas. And I seen dudes with gold grills in them. I didn't know what that was when I was doing it. I was like, what the hell's going on here? It was 1, 2, 5, 10. Where you from? California. And we just started chopping it up because they never met nobody from California. And I was with my family. We was going to Indiana to visit some cousins, relatives. We took a drive from Long Beach all to Indiana. And it was so beautiful over there, man. And the people were so nice. Everybody's so nice, it seems to me. I mean, when I went through there.
Yeah.
So how was it growing up in St. Louis?
Well, I left when I was 5 years old. So I can't really speak too much on but I've been back, and I've been not even just St. Louis. I've been, all over the US, right? And I can honestly say that I think California, Southern California specifically, we're a little more antisocial.
Very much so.
So I think that's why a lot of these other areas, they're more welcoming. Doesn't mean that they're soft, of course, right? Because a lot of these areas, man, like you know what I mean? But yeah, exactly. Especially from being from Cali, because we automatically assume you have to be how we are. You know
extra
what I'm saying?
hard.
And that aggressive, extra hard, mean mugging. Like when I first started traveling, I remember like I went out to, I think it was like Atlanta or something. And some dude was like looking at me, and I'm like, I was about to trip on him. Like, what the fuck are you looking at? And he looked at me and he was like, hey, how you doing?
Right.
It fucked me up. I was like, oh shit. I was like, hey, what's up?
I'm gonna tell you something. Like,
I was like, okay.
We left here. We drove because here you gotta pay first, then you pump. So we drove from LA to Arizona, New Mexico. Then I forgot where I got stuck at. We got stuck there and it said, pump first, then pay. I was like, wait a minute. And the people were like, hi. I'm like, something, me?
Yeah.
And it did that all the way up until we got to Indiana. Then when we got to Indianapolis, you had to pay first, then pump. So I said, this must be the hood.
You know what's crazy is I I think they just changed it, but I know in like is it Washington or Oregon? One of the two, one state you have to let them pump it for you. The other state you have to pump it yourself, and they're right next to each other, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember it fucked me up because the first time I went out there, I see a dude walking up on my car. I'm like what the fuck is walking up on my car? And he go to pump, and my homie had to tell me like, nah, man, that's what they do. They pump the gas. I'm like, all right, cool. And then we literally drove over the bridge to the next state. Mm-hmm. And I remember I ended up having to get gas. And I was sitting back expecting somebody to pump my gas, and nobody came. I was like, man, this shit's confusing as fuck.
That is true, man. That is true.
Like, it even confused me, it's just crazy that certain states, how the laws is different. Like, even with traffic, I remember, I'm sure you've been in New York, but how you can't make a right turn on a red light.
Bet not. You can pull right over.
And there's no sign, and the signs don't even say you can't. No. It took somebody from New York to tell me, like, yo, you can't turn on this. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, and New York is a whole different.
California, California, you can turn as long as it doesn't say you can't.
Right. Like, have you ever performed in New York?
Yeah.
What was the vibe like for you? I mean, I've been to performing before, and they told me I couldn't play hip hop from the West Coast when I was DJing. I'm like, I'm gonna do it anyway. No, you talking about? I've already paid, so I'm gonna do what I want. So, but no hip hop from LA, only New York, Atlanta. So, how was your experience performing in New York?
Actually, for me, it was good. Okay. But I think a lot of it has to do with the time. I think the time that we're living more in a time now where you have, California has influenced so many places, like New York, one of the places that was the most resistant,
right,
to our culture. You know what I'm saying? So I think now a lot of people out there, kind of, especially like my generation or even the younger generation, has a different level of appreciation for us.
Right.
So it was good for me.
Okay.
It was good for me, but I can see why, because I know the history. I can see why it was different for you.
For me, it was in the late '90s. It was after Big was passed and Pop was passed, and there was like, and they lost the grasp on hip hop because everybody was going to Atlanta. So Atlanta at that time, California was falling off, New York had fell off, and Atlanta was the mecca for hip hop. So everybody was trying to sound like Atlanta. So I mean, it was a trip for me. I understood it. I didn't like it, but I understood it. So
right.
Who do you want to work with, man? I mean, you put your smash down. You got a great album. You got great material. Who do you want to feature in your next project?
That's a tough question, man. For different reasons, I guess for the album overall, I guess I can touch on that because I have different artists for different reasons. Mm-hmm. I have like, because me, I still like the authenticity of like hip hop, like actually spitting rhymes and, having some substance behind what you're talking about. So if I was to choose something like that, then of course I would want to do something with like the Kendricks, the J. Cole's, Dave East. Okay. Dave East is pretty dope out in New York. Okay. But if we're talking about like, the a lot of like the stuff that's being played, that's getting the most shine on right now, I would, Lil Baby and but I actually like, my favorite collabs are with singers.
Okay. Wow.
I really enjoy working with singers.
Can you
really enjoy working with singers. I can't.
Okay. But you can rhyme now.
I have singers in my family though. I'm related to I don't know if you're familiar with Fifth Dimension.
Yeah.
The 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
So my cousin is Lamont McLemore.
Aquarius. Yeah. I understand that.
Yeah. So so the main singer pretty much that's my cousin. And then I also have a cousin named Jessica Jarrell. She's pretty big on the scene too. She was with Justin Bieber, like on his first world tour, the main singer on there and all that. So I got it. Like, I'm probably like me, myself, and probably my father, probably the only ones that don't know how to sing in the family. Like even my grandmother's in the choir, you know what I'm saying? Like,
wow.
Everybody sings. So, but it just, singing does something different to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, like the rap is cool. I love it. I'm a fan of hip hop, but as far as like collabing wise, I feel like, as a rapper, it's kind of like, well, I can already do that.
Mm-hmm. Right. I got you.
And that's why, like, even this album Clarity, I didn't pick any rappers, any features for my album on purpose, you know, because I've done so many songs with so many different people, and I really want people to really tune in and really find that ear for me, for my music, you know what I'm saying, for my sound. And I felt like not putting any features on this album would help, you know, in doing that, as far as with the rappers. But I do have a couple singers on there.
Okay. Now, what have you learned from back in the day that you brought to your album today? What skill? What single? What did you? The pot of gumbo was in hip hop. What did you bring back from that to bring into your album?
It's really focusing on having something to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Substance, like, you know, that's really, to me, that's timeless music. You know, when you're creating music that people can relate to,
right?
That, you know, they feel that in here. You know what I'm saying? Emotionally. You know, so that's really what I want to get across in this album, that I felt like I wasn't able to in these past few years, is putting out singles.
Okay.
You know, so the motive behind the album was really just, you know, not being so focused on making a hit.
Okay.
Or not being so focused, and I'm not even saying like making a hit for the radio, you know what I'm saying, but even whether it's making a hit for the hood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But, you know, whatever the motive was, I didn't go into this album to try to please anybody but myself.
Okay.
You know, and I honestly believe anybody that's heard my music, that was part of the journey, or, you know, when people listen to this interview and they want to go back and really listen to like my old stuff,
yeah,
like everything will make so much sense when this album comes out. You're gonna hear a big difference.
Okay.
Still keeping it true to who I am, still being me, but, you know.
Okay. So when do you start think about putting the album out? When can we look for it?
It's coming out January 5th.
Oh, it's around the corner.
Yeah, it's right around the corner. Yeah,
right around the corner. Okay.
Right around the corner. And it's gonna be on all platforms. You know what I'm saying? You name it: iTunes, Spotify, all that. I'm dropping visuals to it. You know, I've already got 2 visuals out to it already.
Okay.
My single is "Sacrifice."
Got you.
You know, so I'll shoot you that link. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but I'll shoot you the link.
Yeah, definitely.
But the whole, you know, the plan is, man, to have a visual for each song on the album.
Smart move. So what would you tell an up and coming artist that sees this interview and he wants to, or she wants to, get into this rap game? What would you tell a younger artist who's just not starting out, who's trying to think about getting to it professionally and all in? What would you tell them?
My favorite choice of words for a question like this really is consistency. You know, consistency is the key to success.
Okay.
You know, because everybody, you know, there really is no handwritten, you know, there's really no way of like saying like, this is what's going to get you where you need to be. I'm a prime example of that. You know, so I've been doing this for a very long time. And I feel like I should be further on in this, you know, saying in this game, but I'm not. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to stop neither or slow down, you know what I'm saying? Because the hunger is still there. And it's just consistency, you know what I'm saying? Don't wait to put some music out, put all that shit out. You know, a lot of people always saying, "Oh, I'm working on this, I'm working on that." That's one thing that always, like, I never wanted to sound like an artist that's I'm working on something. Like, yeah, you working on something, what you got out?
Yeah.
Or I'm holding off on this song for right now. I'm gonna put it out for what? Times change, you know what I'm saying? Like, put that shit out now.
Yeah, because you never know.
You know, build that fan base, and you got to build that fan base.
Yeah, that's
true.
What
I'm saying? You gotta start off somewhere, you know. You gotta build that fan base. So yeah, consistency for sure.
Man.
And that's with anything in life, you know.
That's true, man. You said it right there on the head, man. Thank you, man, for this great interview, brother. Give out your Instagram and your website so people can follow you and check you out. And we're gonna edit this video down, man, and put it out there too as well. It's probably being like 3-minute increments on every question that I asked you. So it'll be everywhere at all times. So, you know, give out your Twitter, Instagram, so follow you, brother.
Yeah, you know, my name's a few different ways of spelling it. Well, I have my way of spelling it, but people spell it wrong all the time. So I'm gonna spell it out. But it's KAYNINETHABOSS. So if you just look that up on any social media site, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, you're gonna find me on there. Definitely make sure you follow me on Spotify. That's where, you'll be able to check out the album as soon as it drops January 5th.